Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how we can make the appearance better for different type of layers. So here I have point layer, and also we have the line layer, and also we have polygon layer. So all of those are covers most of the typology that we can use. So first of all, I think right now I'm using the GIS Pro. So if you don't have GIS Pro, you can download the trial version from esri.com. So basically, we have different type of symbology we can have. If you click on the feature layer appearance, and under the symbology, you can select different type of functions that are embedded within the software. So single symbol basically is join this using a single symbol, and either dot or line or polygon. So here it's just using one dot, and then we can also use unique values that based on one or multiple views. So I'm going to select that. So once we select that, we can have primary symbology ribbon coming out, and we could based on the field. So I am going to open up the attribute table to see which value we want to select. So for example, we want to select by the name, and we want to choose a color scheme that looks good. So I usually prefer the basic random. And this is the solid color, and you can see some of the colors, they have different like those ones, they only have a few available colors, so I usually do not prefer all those. Okay, so select color scheme, and also for classes, this is where that it shows up all the type of symbologies. So you can click on add all values, that will adding in all the values that you have. So if we want to format, so right now the dot seems like a little bit small, so you can click on individual dots to change the size. But what I'm gonna do is click on here, more button, and then format all symbols, and you'll be able to click on the property and change the size. So I'm gonna change to 10. And then you can also change the halo, of course. And the angle is basically, you can change, this is because this is a dot, so the angle won't display. But if you have a bar or an arrow, then the angle will kind of like showing you some effect, like 45 degree or 90 degree or some other degree, whatever you want to specify. So I'm going to click on apply. And then you can see all the sizes of all the points have been increased. So this is, I think, it's a very easier way. So you will return to the primary symbology layer, and sometimes I do not want to show all other values. So if you click on more and then just click here to uncheck the show all other values box, then this will be we won't show all other value, that gray dot under here. And this is very convenient when you try to add a legend layer, so that this gray dot and other will not show up. So that's for the points. And we also, well, I actually want to apply some transparency just to show, because sometimes when our dots are a little bit big, then we can apply some transparency just to let us to see what is underneath. So like we have a line, the highway underneath it, so we can show that. Okay, so I apply 25% of the transparency. So for the line layer, I think it's a similar. We can let's show the graduate symbols. So graduate symbols, basically we can show based on the value of one column. So based on the value range, it will show different size. So as I can show here, basically the line line width is different based on the GID. So GID actually just the ID that is used for different, basically the ID that kind of identify. There's no meaning, but just try to, I guess, to show you how this can work based on one column. So the GID is this value, this column right here. There's a different values associated with it. So I'm going to select a different column because this one since only had 2 values. So I can show zoom. So maybe I can select zoom, and then I don't need to provide any normalization. So normalization sometimes applies when you want to have consistent rating. Sometimes like using one of those columns to as the 100%, and then the field will be normalized based on the field that you selected for normalization to be consistent. And then the method, there's a bunch of methods you can use, you can try. So the natural bricks is basically they rank the values based on based on the algorithm that associated with the natural bricks. And the quantile is evenly distributed among, like if you want to break into evenly distributed like 3 or 4, I think you can use that. And also equal interval, basically you can define how many intervals you want. Sometimes I want to break it into 10 intervals, and you can choose equal interval, and then you can select different classes. So the classes are the intervals the number of intervals we want. And then, so say I want to have 10. And here you'll have the 10 intervals showing up below. And the minimum size and maximum size basically defines the line width that will be showing up on the map. So the minimum will be used for the top value, the minimum value here in the column that you selected will be using the minimum line width, and the maximum will be the same, using the line width. The maximum line width will be applied to the maximum value for the column that defines the graduate symbols. So for here the field is zoom. So I'm just going to change the template. So the template is the one that defines all the, like the color and style. So I'm going to go, yellow is a little bit hard to see here, so I'm going to change to orange. And then I don't want to change the line width here because the line width is basically defined in back to the Symbology tab. So okay, so now I have the colors back to orange, and then the classes is 10, so we have 10 classes based on the symbols here and the values range, and it defines the width of the line. So here you can see, and then the label column is basically defines what will be showing up in your legend or on the join order tab. So if you want to change the smaller than 1 label to say smallest, and see this will be updated in here. So that is how you can update your legend. Okay, I'm gonna just copy this and change it back. Okay, so this is for the lines, and then for the polygon, I think is same concept. And if I'm using the graduate color, well, this will probably won't work because I only have 1 polygon for the whole area. So no matter what Symbology method I'm using, it will be showing out just as 1 value. So I'm going to just demonstrate you like different type of things that we can do. So if I have different polygons here, then I can use the either unique values or graduate color or size or proportional. Those are just similar. So basically, we can define the size and scale using either color or using size of the symbols to show as proportion to the values that you define in your column. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to talk about today, and looking forward to the next video. Thank you, bye.